am surprised. I think they're holding back a considerable amount of their forces. I think it's a good thing that we haven't seen massive shelling in this city center. We haven't seen buildings rubbled, but that still could be in the future.
Yeah, without a doubt. People waking up to blue skies where you are, but the reality on the ground is still so much violence. Steve, we'll check back in with you very soon. Also refusing to evacuate are the citizens of Lviv, Ukraine, just west of the capital.
Mike Tobin live on the ground there as Ukrainian forces are patrolling that area, ready to defend it at all costs. Mike.
And this is the third morning since the invasion began. Ukrainian command and control structure is still very much intact. The Russians do not have air superiority. The Ukrainian air defenses are still active and still relevant. The Ukrainian people are still very much in the fight. This morning we saw the Ukrainian armed forces taking up position here in the city of Lviv. You can notice by the video that they don't have their helmets on, as the fighting is not largely located here. We've seen airstrikes to the south and to the north of the city, and the air raid sirens go off pretty much every day at some point. Not really causing a panic, but you do see some people pick up the hustle, if you will, to take their positions. The people here in Lviv very eager to join the fight. What you see out here to the west of the bulk of the fighting is the refugee traffic as they are fleeing the fighting. The main egress point is to the west, as the Russian troops have come in from the north, the east, and the south. The normal trip from Kyive to here is about 6 hours by car. We talked with a couple this morning. It took them 14 hours as the main roads are a giant traffic jam. The UN Committee for Refugees says it has record so far as of yesterday of some 50,000 refugees pouring over the Polish and the Moldovan borders. This morning we have new video of people going over the border to south of here, and that is the border with Romania. So you have very many people trying to flee this country. At least on the Polish side, they're setting up some temporary housing to deal with the Ukrainian refugees. They've even established a medical train to get any injured Ukrainians to the medical care that they need. The fighting has been most intense to the east of here. In the capital city of Kyive, it has manifested largely in the form of small arms fire going street to street, some artillery fire, and there have been some missile or rocket strikes, one of them in particular hitting a high-rise apartment building, so you know there has been some collateral damage. There's been significant damage among the Russian forces, not the least of which is a couple of IL-76 troop transport planes that were shot down to the south of Kyive. Presumably they were loaded with paratroopers. They were shot down about 30 miles apart from each other, about 50 miles south of the city, and presumably they were preparing for some paratrooper inserts to add to the number of Russian forces that are now trying to tighten the noose around the capital city. The capital city that still stands in a country called Ukraine, which also is still surviving despite day 3 now of this invasion. Carly and Todd?
Yeah, Mike, you know, just interested in what you're seeing when it comes to supplies. You know, we're seeing people take shelter in subways, and we're also seeing images of empty store shelves as well. I'm wondering, is there a risk of, you know, food, critical supplies going away? I'm just wondering how long people can hold on.